The tricycle skidded as the horn blared too late. Metal screamed against metal, and the black SUV jolted to a stop in the middle of Market Road. People rushed forward, shouting. Adewale jumped down from the Kiki, hands shaking, staring at the deep dent on the SUV's side. The owner, Victor Hale, stepped out slowly, eyes cold, jaw tight. Adewale tried to speak, but his voice broke. He didn't have the money, not even close. When Victor asked how he planned to pay for a car that was barely 3 months old, Adewale looked back, spotted his daughter standing frozen by a tomato stall, and made a decision that would change everything. If you're enjoying this story already, drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. That evening, Lena followed her father to Victor's gated house in Greenview Estate. She listened as her father begged, promised, bowed. Victor didn't shout. He just calculated. The repair cost was high, and he wanted it settled fast. When Adewale suggested Lena could work in the house to offset the debt, Victor paused. He studied her face, her posture, the way she met his eyes without flinching. Finally, he agreed. Temporary, he said, until the money was covered. Lena started the next morning. She cooked, cleaned, and kept her distance. Victor noticed everything: how she refused extra money, how she returned gifts untouched, how she locked her door every night. One of the house staff warned her quietly, saying rich men always confuse kindness with ownership. Lena nodded. She had one goal: clear the debt and go home. Victor's friend Tunde visited one afternoon and pulled him aside. He asked why a young woman was living in the house over an accident. He warned him it looked wrong. Victor brushed it off, but the words stayed. Later that night, Lena told Tunde she wasn't there by choice. She said she had a degree in public administration, no job for over a year, and a father who depended on her. She wasn't asking for pity. She was counting days. A few days later, another man entered the picture. Malik, Victor's business associate, noticed Lena serving food during a meeting. He spoke to her politely, asked about her background, and listened. Really listened. Before leaving, he told her he knew about the debt. He said he could pay it off completely. No conditions, no expectations, just freedom. Lena smiled politely but said nothing. That night, she couldn't sleep. Freedom sounded sweet, but she'd learned to fear easy offers. When Malik called the next day and invited her to lunch to talk, she almost said no, but curiosity won. Over rice and stew at a small restaurant, she told him everything.
He didn't interrupt. When she finished, he repeated his offer and added that she didn't owe him even a phone call afterward. Lena laughed bitterly. She said she was tired of debts that wore different faces. Malik nodded and said the choice would always be hers. Back at the house, tension thickened. Victor noticed Lena was quieter. He finally asked her why. She told him about Malik's offer. Victor's face hardened. He said Malik didn't help people for nothing. Lena replied that she never said yes. Silence stretched between them. Then Victor surprised her by admitting his fear, not of losing money, but of getting attached to people who always left. He mentioned his ex, Clara, who had once told him he liked fixing broken things instead of facing himself. As if summoned, Clara showed up days later. She saw Lena and laughed softly. She warned her not to confuse temporary kindness for love. She said men like Victor didn't marry women who came through struggle. Lena thanked her for the honesty. On her birthday, Lena woke to a small box on her bed. Inside was a simple wristwatch and a note with no name. She'd never received a birthday gift before. She cried quietly, unsure whether the tears were from gratitude or exhaustion. That evening, Victor's sister confronted him. She warned him not to mix emotions with unresolved business deals. She reminded him of the contract he was chasing, the one mistake away from collapse. Victor snapped back, then went silent. The next morning, Lena packed her bag. She told Victor she had decided to accept Malik's offer. Not because it was easy, but because it gave her a choice without fear. Victor didn't stop her. He just nodded and said he hoped she found peace. As Lena walked out of the gate, phone in hand, she hesitated before dialing Malik's number. For the first time in months, the road ahead wasn't written by debt or obligation. It was hers. If you want to see how Lena's journey continues, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter.